Hey guys, welcome back to today's video, or rather welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go over how to make a zipper pouch for your Happy Planner, much like this one here. What you're going to need is any kind of plastic pencil pouch. These pencil pouches you can get from the Dollar Tree, Target, Walmart, the Dollar Spot, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, any of your dollar stores. They've got pouches. Key is to have it be plastic. So what we're going to do first is get this out of the way. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our zipper pouch. This one I got at Dollar Tree. The next thing we're going to do is take our template, which is the cover of my Happy Planner. So I have went over how to create this cover of the Happy Planner in a previous video. I think it's about a year old. I can do an updated version. It's almost the exact same. Actually, I'm pretty sure it would be the exact same video. Anyway, it's going to be in the DIYs or planner videos, and that should be in the playlist in the description box below. I often use my cover as a template because that way I know whatever I'm making is going to be smaller than my my Happy Planner itself. So I'm going to change the lighting just a smidge. It's a little bright. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab a pencil, a marker, a something so we can, I'm going to grab a little bit bigger of a marker so you guys can see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mat. I'll move our mat over, and you're going to need a fuse tool. And my fuse tool is plugged in, and it is nice and hot and ready to go. And it's also clipped to the side of my desk so it doesn't go anywhere. So the first thing that I'm going to do is there is a line right here separating. Let's see. You guys might be able to see it. There's a line right here separating these holes from the pouch. We're going to cut just to the right, just to the side of the zipper, just to the right of that line. We are going to cut that line off. The next thing that we're going to do is change the height. We are going to cut from both the top and the bottom, and the reason being is because I can't fuse tool over this zipper. So I'm going to cut just a little bit over that top, and I'm going to cut just a little bit over this bottom. Make sure it is a straight line. If you're using a fuse tool, be sure to use a metal ruler. You can obviously use a plastic or a wooden ruler, but you will have a little bit more protection with a metal ruler. So we're going to set this aside for just a second. I got ahead of myself. I need to cut this before I fuse it. So we're just going to set our big old mat aside. Grab our trimmer here. I don't need to unfold it completely, so I'm not going to. And I'm going to unlock it. We're going to take this and we're going to cut just on the side of the zipper of that line. And most, if not all, of your plastic zipper pouches will be the same, and they will have that little fuse right there. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut just to the edge of that bottom zipper. Okay? We're not going to cut the bottom zipper because we don't have any way to stop it if we cut it off. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure our lines are straight. We're going to cut just on the outside of that top zipper. Okay? So in all, you're cutting off about a ½ inch, but you're cutting off about a ¼ inch from the top and a ¼ inch from the bottom. Go ahead and throw your scraps away unless you have some sort of use for plastic pieces. So now we're just going to set our trimmer down, remove our mat over. Okay? I need to give a little bit more slack to my fuse tool here because I am right-handed, not left-handed. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to very, very carefully lay down. I like to lay my ruler upside down because then it's flat, because my ruler has this cork on one side. So I lay my ruler upside down. I'm going to pull it into the pocket about not a half an inch, goodness, about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to use this fuse tool, and I'm going to fuse together these plastic pieces. Now you are going to want a lot of attention to this because these particular pouches are very thick, and you want to make sure that you're getting all the way through to the other side. So I'm going over this a decent amount of times. My fuse tool is nice and warm, but I do want to make sure that it goes over to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up, and I can see that it went over to the other side because it stuck to my mat, but it didn't on all of what I fused together. So I'm going to flip it over. I'll take my fuse tool again, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring heat to both the front and the back simultaneously. And then I'm going to burn myself with that thing. Then you have a higher chance of that actually staying put. Okay, so we're actually going to take this paper out. Well, I don't really need to. Alright, we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. Go in to the pocket about 1/8 of an inch from the side of the pocket. Okay? And we're going to fuse. Okay? Pay close attention to this fuse right here because you are going through two very thick layers of plastic. These are not the same as our little pockets that we're fusing together for shaker cards. This is a much thicker plastic. So unless you want it to come apart the first time you touch it, make sure that you give it lots of pressure. Don't break your wrists. Lots of pressure, lots of attention, TLC, all that hoopla. So I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing that we did to the other side to this side. Okay? And preferably not burn yourself in the process. Okay? And what you guys hear right now is my fuse tool hitting my ruler. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside. Now this should be good. Okay? And the way that you can test that out is stick your hand in your pocket. And as long as nothing happens, like right there, then you're good to go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back and we'll fuse it back together. Or fuse it together, because it wasn't together to begin with. So because it was already, that line is already there, I'm pretty good to just fuse instead of have that ruler there. But you could definitely have that ruler there if it makes you feel better. Because this tool is not very cold. It's quite warm. Okay. Alright. Double check again. Always double check your work. It's the same like if you're in math. Always double check your work. Because especially if this is a gift, you don't want, the worst thing you want to do is create something like halfway and then have it break or fall apart or be torn up or whatever when your buddy gets it. So make sure you double check your work. Now we're going to go in 3/4 of an inch into the pocket. And the reason that we're going to do that is because the edge of the hole, or I'm sorry, 1/2 inch. The edge of the holes are 1/2 inch from the side of the cover. So we're going to go in 1/2 inch. We're going to dot. Hello. We're going to dot. And we're going to go in 1/2 inch. And we're going to dot. Now, we are not going to draw a big old huge black line across this entire thing. Because again, if this is a gift, then you definitely don't want marks on there that weren't supposed to be there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ruler and connect the dots. Okay? Now we're going to fuse. Now this one is the bottom. So again, you want to make sure that it's fused nice and securely. And this will take some time to get all of these fuses to cooperate, because again, this is a thick plastic. This is not the same plastic that you're working with when you're fusing together your pocket tools. Or pocket tools. Pocket letters. Or not pocket letters. I can't freaking talk. Your shaker cards. Jeez, my knees. Alright, I'm going to go a couple more times. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing to the back side. Okay? Alright, and you will be able to see that line from the other side, so you don't have to mark it. But you can also see the little dots from the other side too. Okay? There you go. And you can absolutely decorate this. Don't burn yourself. That was very close. That was warm heat. But you can absolutely decorate this even further. If you wanted to and you didn't have a fuse tool, you could still do this, guys. Don't be deterred because you don't have a fuse tool. The only thing that you would have to do is you would have to get a very good tape, i.e. a duct tape. A duct tape would be really nice, and they have some really, really pretty duct tapes out there right now. Well, at any given point in time. And you would duct tape this part together. And then duct tape this part together. Actually, I think that would be a cool little project to make a duct tape zipper pouch. Alright, see how it come apart right here? This plastic's super, super thick, guys. So, again, grab your fuse tool and fuse. So I'm going to do short bursts in a short area, and that will hopefully fuse it together a little bit better. And I'm honestly the worst person to be doing this because I have almost no patience. It's crazy. And that's funny because I have all the patience in the world when it comes to my husband, my kids. When it comes to stuff that I'm doing, I ain't got no patience. I know when it comes to like other people, that's funny too, because my friends tell me that all the time. They're just like, you don't have any patience, but you have patience all day long with your kids. I'm like, yep, that's me. That is a thing. Alright. Alright, make sure it's nice and cooled before you go and pop your hand in there. Because that, even if it was fused together, if you stick your hand in there before it's cooled, you're going to pull it apart anyway. Alright, so there we go. And voila. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off our fuse tool because I don't want it to burn myself or my desk for that matter. And now we're going to move our mat out of the way. Okay? There we go. So now what we're going to do is we have this little section over here that's not fused together. It's just kind of sitting there. And we're going to take our template here, our guide, and we're going to mark our holes. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I'm giving it equal space between the top and the bottom. So for instance, if there was a 1/2 inch gap up here and only like a no gap down here, I would move it down so there was a 1/4 inch up here and a 1/4 inch down here. Now there's not that big of a gap in this particular project. It's very fractional. I don't even know what the fraction would be, honestly. It's very, very small. So we're going to take our marker, and you definitely do not have to use a permanent marker. A permanent marker is, well, permanent. So if you get it on your template and your template is part of your actual happy planner, then you might not be too happy. With me personally, it doesn't bother me because this is my template as well as my cover. It's all over the place. So grab your hole punch. I have a We Are Memory Keeper hole punch. I love this thing. I'm going to open up my little trash bin here and I'm going to start punching. So I'm gonna open my trash bin because when it's open like that, I can see inside that little hole, and I can see is exactly where I line it up. So it makes it real easy to punch. So I'm gonna cover the trash because I don't want it all over my desk or craft area, or even throwing it in my face. I've done that before. Like it punches and then it's like smack in my face. So I definitely don't want that. So I'm just dumping it out on my desk as soon as I punch it. And we're almost done. I have 3 more holes. And then you're just going to split it just like you would any other project that you're putting in your happy planner. Okay. Alright. Close that up. Grab a pair of scissors and snip away. There's the wrong scissors. And snip away. Alright. And these are a little bit sharper than those purple scissors I just had, and they're shorter, which makes this part easier because I just use the tip of the scissors to snip it. And you have yourself a altered zipper pouch to go into your happy planner. Okay, so let's test this bad boy out. So we'll take this one out. We'll take this one out because we did this in the last video. So we're done with this. Oi, it's actually not mine. That is for a friend. So these videos will go up after they have already received their package. So it will be a surprise to them still. So, and I do say them because there are more than one. So we have our little zipper pouch, and now we can put our goodies into our zipper pouch. I would not suggest putting scissors in there because it could slide and then poke a hole in your zipper pouch, but you guys get the idea. Okay? So there we go. And that's it. It took me 17 minutes to make this from start to finish. I showed you guys the zipper pouch before I began. It was an original zipper pouch. I didn't do anything to it. 17 minutes, start to finish. And that's including this pain in the butt plastic. So it's super, super easy. And it is a fairly quick project. I've definitely seen worse. But thank you guys so much for watching. And in the next video, I believe we're going to go over dividers and monthly dividers and just generic dividers. Okay, so keep tuned, and until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.